We're now in the period of time between Pesach and Shavuos, the time of Sfiras HaOmer, when every night we count 7 weeks, 49 days, until we reach Shavuos, the time of Matan Torah. Chazal teach us that in this period of time, 24,000 Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva died. And the reason that they died was because of the Avera of Sinas Chinam, Shelo Nagu Kavod Zeh B'Zeh. And one would be astounded at the fact that this great number, this terrible tragedy, 24,000 Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, an incomprehensible number of Talmidim, were nifter in this period of time. Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, who taught us that Vahavta l'reacha kamocha ze klal gadol b'Torah. That one of the great principles of the Torah is Vahavta l'reacha kamocha. Rabbi Akiva, who even before he became Maranan Shel Yisrael, Taisus tells us that he was very particular in the midah of Kavod Abrius. And Dafka, the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, should be nichshol in the Avera of Sinas Chinam. And furthermore, the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva were nifter in this period of time, in the time between Pesach and Shavuos, which the Ramban teaches us is a time of great Kedusha. And he compares the time between Pesach and Shavuos, the 7 weeks, and after the counting of the 7 weeks, then the 8th day after that, the day of Shavuos, he compares it to the 7 days of Sukkot and the 8th day, Shmini Atzeres. And Shavuos is also called Atzeres. And just like there's 7 days of Sukkot, the intervening period is a Chol Shel Moed, there's a Yontif, and then Shmini Atzeres, and the days in between are a Chol Moed, a very exalted period of time. So too, the weeks, the days between Pesach and Shavuos, they're a bechina of Chol Shel Moed, a very exalted period of time. So Dafka, the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, the great Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, who taught the importance of Kavod Abrius, they were nifter Dafka in this period of time, this holy period of time of the Yemei HaSfira. What is the connection between these events? Perhaps we can explain this al pi the Maharal. That Chazal teach us that Kol HaGodol Mechavero Yitzra Godol Heimenu. Whoever is greater than the next, whoever is in a higher spiritual plane than the next person, just like his Yetzer Tov is greater than the other, so too the Yetzer Hara grows within him. The Yetzer Hara is misgaber alav. Because the world was created that there should be choice, there should be free choice, free will to choose good. And therefore, someone who is greater, he has a greater Yetzer Tov, his Yetzer Hara increases as well. And the battle rages within him. And perhaps we can say, based on that, that not only that a person, Kol HaGodol Mechaver Yitzra Godol Heimenu, but in addition, there are periods of time when the Yetzer Hara increases as well. And in holier times, times where there's a greater hashpah of Kedusha, when there are times when there's a greater spiritual influence, the koyach of the Yetzer Hara increases as well. And perhaps we can say even more, that in a mitzvah that is greater, and a person who is able to perform that mitzvah to perfection, Dafka, in those times, in that mitzvah, to that person, the Yetzer Hara, he expends all his energy That's when the Yetzer Hara battles in full force to try to trip up the person, to try to have the person stumble. Because the Yetzer Hara, his mission is to prevent the growth of Ruchnius. The Yetzer Hara's mission, his mandate, is to prevent the spread of spirituality, of Ruchnius. And Dafka, in a person who is greater than the next, and Dafka in a person who is performing a great mitzvah, and Dafka in a person who is capable of performing that mitzvah to perfection, and Dafka in a holy time. That's when the Yetzer Hara sends out all of its forces and tries to be machshel that person and prevent him from performing that mitzvah and from bringing that spirituality into the world. And that's a lesson that we have to take and internalize specifically in these days, in these holy days between Pesach and Shavuos, as we try to prepare for Matan Torah, for accepting upon ourselves the Torah, where we relive Matan Har Sinai, and the giving of the Torah, and the great influence, the hashpah of Matan Torah. And we have to be aware that the Yetzer Hara, the Satan, will try to be machshel us in sinas chinam, in all kinds of averas, and we have to strengthen ourselves and prepare ourselves. And prepare ourselves for the great day of Matan Torah, for Chag Shavuos. Yehi Ratzon that we will greet the holiday, the Chag of Shavuos, accept upon ourselves the Torah, and the commandments and the mitzvahs, and greet Pnei Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mehera v'yameinu. Amen.